Workforce development is still ongoing at the state level. More from DWD Commissioner Steve Braun. Plus, this weekend will be a special one for local veterans. And Scott Solomon talks about his book tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with state officials working to fill jobs now and into the future. State Department of Workforce Development Commissioner Steve Braun made a stop at VUJC yesterday afternoon to discuss these issues. Braun says the state will have about 1 million jobs it will need to fill over the next 10 years as the baby boomer generation retires and other new jobs are created. Braun says career and technical education is key to that future, and our school systems need to lead the way.
I think when it comes to K-12 and when it comes to schools, we need to let them innovate. We need to let them decide how they want to make sure that they're teaching the right skill sets that are relevant to not only the state but the communities. And career and technical education tracks are an area where they are designed to teach specific courses and pathways towards employable jobs that are right out of high school or with 1- and 2-year degrees. So let's continue to grow that, expand, and invest in that.
Braun says Jasper and Du Bois County continue to be leaders in job creation and low unemployment locally and statewide. However, he says it will take a larger collaborative effort to help the rest of the region and state to catch up.
And how do we make sure that they're all working together cooperatively? How do we get the infrastructure in place here that allows continued growth and new businesses coming in? And how do we make sure that people who are looking to have a great place to live, which Jasper was identified as one of the top 25 small towns in the country, we need to get out and make sure people are aware this is a great community. We need to find people to come in, whether it's from the local proximity or whether it's from outside.
Now, several educators also spoke up during yesterday's discussion. Forest Park High School Principal Jim Mailing has been in education for more than 30 years and expressed his concerns about balancing teaching life skills such as problem solving with giving people what they need to be successful as they enter the workforce.
You do that by teaching some of the fundamental skills, and we talked about problem-solving skills, being creative, trying to enhance creativity, make our kids learn about innovation and being innovators. So I think it's those fundamental skills that we're going to have to learn to teach. So when you talk about the new wave of education, I think that's what we're really about.
Braun also discussed ongoing issues at the community college level where many students are not finishing their classes. VUJC Dean Dr. Alan Johnson says that problem is often attributable to lack of student preparation.
A lot of folks are coming out who are not really ready for college level work. And so we spend an inordinate amount of our resources on developmental remedial education to get them up to speed. Another thing that we found that is unique, we always think of young people as being so adept and skilled with technology, and we find that the skill sets of many of them are very limited. They can surf the web, they can text, but when it comes to using productivity software and understanding operating systems, that's really lacking.
Braun says the DWD received an additional $50 million from the state in the most recent budget. He says the department will seek to work with groups such as Connexus and Radius Indiana to identify talent and begin to fill the open jobs. It took 3 fire departments to fight a barn fire at a southeast Du Bois County farm earlier today. Ferdinand fire crews were first called to the Norman Shoe Farm in the 7500 block of South County Road 75 East at around 11:30 this morning. When they arrived on scene, Fire Chief Dan Lindauer says a barn on the property was fully engulfed in flames. Crews and tanker trucks from the St. Anthony and Huntingburg fire departments were soon called in to help battle the flames, and firefighters had to pull water from a nearby pond to help firefighting efforts, as no other water sources were nearby. Lindauer says the cause of the fire is believed to be electrical in nature and the investigation is ongoing. The barn is a total loss and no injuries were reported. Fire crews were on scene for about 2 hours today battling this blaze and putting out hot spots. This year's Memorial Day ceremony in DuBois County is now set. The ceremony will be held on the downtown square in Jasper tomorrow morning beginning at 10 a.m. All veterans organizations in DuBois County are being represented, and local veterans who passed away will be remembered. Pat O'Keefe is with the Southern Indiana Leatherneck Detachment of the Marine Corps League. He says this weekend is the time to remember what veterans have done and are doing for our freedom.
It's not about barbecued ribs. It's not about hamburgers. It's not about beer. It's about the veterans. Take an hour out of your day and come down and honor these individuals that served your country.
Tom Messier is this year's deceased veteran who will be recognized tomorrow. Messier was born in 1935 in Bourbonnais, Illinois. He began serving in the United States Marine Corps as an artilleryman at the age of 19. Messier left for Vietnam in August of 1965, and he was an artillery chief in Vietnam and directed accurate fire in support of Marines and soldiers on the ground. Messier retired from the Marine Corps in August of 1974 with several commendations and medals. Messier remained active locally even after his retirement from the Marine Corps. He was an active member with the American Legion Post No. 147 and helped to start the Southern Indiana Leatherneck Detachment of the Marine Corps League in November of 1995. He served as detachment paymaster for nearly 7 years, winning both the silver and bronze Distinguished Citizen medals, among other honors. Tomorrow's ceremony will also feature guest speaker Commander Timothy Craddock from NSA Crane, Steve Bartles conducting the POW MIA ceremony, and Larry Feldmeyer with the Celebration Singers singing the national anthem and other patriotic songs. In the event of bad weather, the ceremony will be moved to the VFW post number 673 on Jasper's north side. Local emergency personnel will be doing some training in an area rail yard next weekend. The DuBois County Local Emergency Planning Committee, in conjunction with ISTS out of Louisville, Kentucky, will be hosting a full-scale hazmat exercise next Saturday, May 30th. The exercise will be held in the Huntingburg Rail Yard, the Norfolk Southern Rail Yard, located at the intersection of 6th and North Van Buren Streets. The exercise is set to begin at 8 a.m. and end by 2 p.m. Now, Norfolk Southern Railway will be bringing in boxcars, tankers, and a small locomotive to simulate a train derailment and release of an extremely hazardous chemical. Responding agencies will be staging at the Memorial Gymnasium back parking lot in Huntingburg by 7:30 that morning. There will be numerous emergency vehicles in the area of the gymnasium and the rail yard. Now, DuBois County Emergency Management Director Tammy Humbert is asking the public to note that this is an exercise and that there will be a lot of activity in and near the Huntingburg Rail Yard. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact DuBois County Emergency Management at 812-482-2202. Well, if you're going to be out and about this Memorial Day weekend, you should be on the lookout for extra patrols. Indiana State Police will be participating in Operation CARE and SWDUIEP. Troopers will be specifically looking for drivers who speed, follow too closely, make unsafe lane changes, drive aggressively, and fail to buckle up or properly restrain children. Troopers also will be aggressively looking for impaired drivers. Now, Indiana State Police are also participating in the Click It or Ticket enforcement campaign, which began last Saturday, and that will run through May 31st. The campaign will include not only Indiana State Police, but more than 250 local law enforcement agencies throughout the state, including several DuBois County police departments. Indiana's Health Commissioner has approved a one-year needle exchange program for a rural county at the center of the state's largest HIV outbreak. Dr. Jerome Adams approved Scott County's request yesterday to operate that exchange through May 24th of 2016. The county, about 30 miles north of Louisville, had been operating a temporary needle exchange. It's the first to receive state approval under a new state law that provides for exchanges if a community proves it's facing an HIV or hepatitis C epidemic that's fueled by intravenous drug use. State epidemiologist Pam Pontonis says 160 people have tested positive for HIV since December in the outbreak, which is tied to needle sharing among IV drug users. Nearly all of the cases have been in Scott County, which typically has about 5 new HIV cases each year. And finally tonight, a heartwarming story from a small southwestern Indiana town that had been fighting to keep its high school open. Grace College announced earlier this week that it would sponsor Duggar Union Community School Corporation as a charter starting with the 2015-2016 school year. That contract is expected to run for 7 years. The move ends a 2-year fight to preserve the Duggar Union Community School, which has seen enrollment and revenues decline. The school operated this year under the umbrella of the Indiana Cyber Charter School after the Northeast Sullivan School Board voted to consolidate it. The contract with Grace will authorize Duggar Union as a standalone charter. School Board President Kyle Foley says the school hopes to have 230 students enrolled by August. All right, coming up after the break, your Memorial Day weekend forecast, and later, Scott Salmon talks about his book. We're back after this.